In this training video, we're going to review members and benefits. The Bloom app is a Shopify application that extends Shopify in a lot of different ways. The primary way is that you can add memberships to customers where they can get member discounts or they could have saved cards on file. In the Shopify POS, you can add new members, you can add new memberships to existing customers, and you can access their discounts and save cards on file to make payments through the Shopify POS. To access members and benefits, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my Actions tile page in the Smart Grid. Here I'm going to tap on the Bloom tile labeled Members and Benefits. Now you may have noticed I did not have a customer or any products added to the Shopify POS. In that case, the Bloom Member and Benefits tile defaults to loading all of your customers in the Shopify system. You can see that the Customer tab is highlighted. I have a search bar much like I have in Shopify. I have the ability to add a customer. I can also look through my most recent 100 customers in a list here, or I could filter these customers down by members. And you can see we have a green member badge for all of our members. Employees, in this case we don't have any employees in the system, or our wholesale customers. And again, we have no results because there are no wholesale customers in the system. If there were, they would show up much like members with an employee badge or a wholesale badge. We can also search for customers. So I'm going to tap into the search bar. I'm going to search again for Bowers. Kevin Bowers pops up. Now, one of the differences between the Bloom search and the Shopify search is that we are noting that Kevin Bowers is a member by showing the green member badge. So if you ever want to see your customers within the context of memberships, I would recommend using the Bloom Member and Benefits tile because you'll be able to easily see and search for all of your members. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hide the keyboard there. And let's go ahead and look at Kevin Bowers' customer detail view within the Bloom Members and Benefits app. When we tap his name, we come to what we call the customer detail view. On the left, we see his name, some customer details, much like we see in Shopify. We have discounts, and in this case, there aren't any discounts available because he doesn't have a cart yet, so there's nothing to discount. We can also see that Kevin actually has a club membership where he's in the Founders Club, and he has selected the preference of red wines, 3 bottles red. If we wanted to add another membership to Kevin's customer record, I could tap the Add Membership button, and that would take me to the interface to add a membership. But we'll come back to that in a moment. On the right-hand side, we have a view where we can see the current POS cart, if there is one, and in this case there isn't. We're showing the cart is not available. We also have the ability to look at some of Kevin's orders. Now we can see here that there are 9 pickup orders that he still needs to pick up. We also have the ability to look at orders that should have been shipped that are unfulfilled. In this case, we don't have any in the system. Or we can see all of Kevin's orders. So let's say we actually want to use Kevin's card on file to create a payment, to create a transaction. Well, like I said, since we don't have a cart built yet, there isn't anything to actually create a transaction with, so we can't use this card. Let's go ahead and add Kevin to the cart. And what that's going to do is it's going to take us back to the Shopify point of sale system where we can see Kevin has now been added to the Shopify POS cart. We can see that we have a cart ID listed here, but we still don't have any products in the system. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe over to my products. I'm going to add a bottle of Pinot Noir. I'm going to add a bottle of Chenin Blanc. Now we have products in the system. We have his customer here on the cart as well. And I can go back to our Bloom Members and Benefits tile by simply tapping that. And that's going to load Kevin's customer view again. We can see now his cart is showing over here on the right with the 2 products with the subtotal and the taxes. And we can also see that there are a couple discounts available to Kevin as well. We have a 20% standard discount, and we also have a 30% discount if he were to have a case or more. Since he doesn't have a case, he only has 2 bottles, we're just going to apply the 20% club discount. So I'm going to tap that. We can see that the discount is being applied to the order, $12.40 savings, and we can also see that his card can be used because we have the Use Card button appearing now. If we wanted to go back to the Shopify POS and look at this order, we can just click the Close button here at the top, and that'll take us back to the Shopify POS. But in this case, let's go ahead and create the transaction by using his card on file. We can see that the payment was authorized. It's giving us instructions on how to complete the checkout. So I'm going to go ahead and continue and complete the order, which our instructions stated that we need to tap the checkout button and use the Bloom payment method since we used his card on file. When we mark this as paid, it's actually going to create the final transaction and capture payment on that card, and then create that order in Shopify, and everything should be complete. So I'm going to click the Done button. Let's say that we have a customer who comes into the winery and they want to create a club membership. That's also really easy to do with the Bloom Members and Benefits tile here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that. Let's pretend like this customer is a brand new customer. I'm not going to be able to find them in the system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the Add Customer button first because we need to have a customer in the system. This customer's name is going to be Jen King. I'm going to add an email address, phone number, date of birth. Let's say she was born June 8th of 1987. Now we're going to save this customer. And we can see Jen King has now been added to the customer view. And we have a little bit of information on here. She's in here less than a day with 0 orders, of course. We have not added anything to her cart, and we don't have any cards on file, so she's a brand new customer. But we wanted to add a membership, so that's what we're going to do next. We're going to click the Add Membership button, and that's going to load our membership interface. The membership interface is comprised of 4 sections. One is selecting the membership tier that they want to belong to, then preferences, then their shipping information, then their billing information, then there'll be a final confirmation screen. If you ever want to leave this view and go back to the customer view, you're going to click the X over here on the right. If you click the close up here on the top left, it's actually going to take you all the way back to the Shopify POS, and you're going to leave this app altogether, and you will lose any information that you put in here. So it's important to remember that if you want to leave, you want to click the X button if you want to stay within the Bloom app. But of course, if you want to go all the way back to the Shopify point of sale system, you can click the close button up here in the top right. Let's go ahead and pick the Members Choice Club because she's a customer who likes choice. She wants to pick her own wines, her own quantities. So we'll go ahead and select that option and then click Continue. We can see that over on the right, we have her customer information and we have the tier information. In this particular tier, there aren't any actual preferences to select. So we're going to go ahead and click Continue, which is going to load the interface where they can pick, or she can pick her bottles. So in this case, we have 6 bottles to choose from. It is defaulting to what the winery has set as the default selection for this tier. So it's a 6-bottle tier. So we can see here that there's a minimum selection requirement of 6. You have to pick at least 6 bottles. And we're recommending 2 bottles of Chardonnay, 1 bottle of Pinot Gris, 2 bottles of the Cabernet Sauvignon, and 1 bottle of the Pinot Noir. Of course, Jen can change this if she wants. Maybe she wants 2 bottles of the Merlot, 1 bottle of the Chardonnay, 0 bottles of the Pinot Gris, and she's happy with the other ones. So we can see it's starting to build her membership over here on the right. We can see the quantities and we can see the subtotals of her customer choice selections. We're going to click continue. And here's where you have the option to either pick up or ship. Now this particular winery does have a pickup option, so we can select pickup if we would like to, or if we want to add a shipping address, we can ship as well. Here we're going to type in we're going to skip company. Here I'm going to put in the address of the winery. We do have address autocomplete, so West John Street in Seattle is the address that I want. We can see it's pre-populating with country, state, zip code, and her phone number and date of birth has already been brought across from her customer record. So we're going to go ahead and click continue there. If I want to use her shipping address for billing, I can select that option. Or if I want to use a different billing address, of course, I can do that as well. Let's go ahead and just use the same as shipping address. And so again, on the right-hand side, we can see that shipping and billing have been added. We don't have any cards on file, so I'm going to tap the Add a New Card button, the name on the card, the number, we'll put in a test number, a test expiration, test code, the postal code, and now we're going to save that credit card. Once the card has been successfully saved, we can see down here we had a little thing that said the credit card had been added. Now we can use that card for that membership, just like we would use it for a payment on an order. Now if we scroll down, we can see all of the membership information, starting with the customer, the tier, the products they selected, their shipping and billing information, and now we can submit this membership. The membership was successfully created. We can now see that in her fall shipment, she's going to be receiving these options. We also now have the card on file, and Jen King now has a successful membership created in the system. Both the administrator of the system and the customer, Jen herself, will receive a welcome email saying that they've signed up for the club. If we want to go back, we can click the back arrow here, and that's going to take us back to the customer views. And now we can see Jen King has all of her information in the system, and she is flagged as a member. In addition to customers, we can also look at orders that are in the system. Much like Shopify, we have the ability to search orders by order number or by name. We also have order types, which we saw before. We can sort by or filter by unfulfilled, these are all orders in the system that need to be shipped but have not been shipped yet. And we can also see orders that are specifically designated as pickup orders, orders that need to be picked up by a customer. If we wanted to then search by name, we will look at Kevin Bowers again, remove the keyboard. We can see, like we saw earlier, that Kevin has a lot of pickup orders in the system that he has to come and pick up. If we were to click on one of these orders, let's say if Kevin came into the winery and wanted to pick up an order, we can click on the order detail and then mark the order as picked up. When we tap marked as order as picked up, we can see the items that are on the order. We can see the subtotal, taxes, and total, just to confirm that it is in fact what he is picking up. And then we can tap Mark as picked up. That is now going to assign the picked up badge. And if we go then back to our order screen, that order is now marked as picked up. That concludes this training of the Bloom Members and Benefits tile. Thank you for watching.